All right, we're live. What is up? How is everybody doing? Good to see you, Chana D, as it says, Mr. Techno Dad. Welcome to the channel. This is Brandon Walsh. It says Be the Consumer. We're going to be talking about technology in general, not just TVs, which we are known for, and audio that Chana is also known for here. And our friend Stop the FOMO is about to join as well, who's also known for TVs. But we're going to be talking about general tech indeed. From TVs to operating systems to EVs. Eric said TVs and EVs is a good name for this live stream. How you doing, Chana?
Oh, I'm very, very good. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Brandon, for having me on your channel.
Great. Nothing wrong with starting off with a little self-racism. All right, I like it.
As long as I do it, it's okay.
Yeah. If I had done that, the channel might have gone a different direction.
Man, yeah, no, I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day. It's not so hot like it was over the weekend, so it's nice. I'm chilling at home.
Oh yeah, man. And so welcome to everybody that's on here and everyone that joins in later. If you're interested in watching, a podcast to this degree, feel free to join in weekly. We're going to be doing this, at least myself and others. Chana, before we get too far, and I want to make sure if anyone is watching this and if anyone can message that's on here, this is a brand new thing here, so we're just double checking that people can see us. Feel free to chat. We are, live stream extraordinaires from the past. Not quite as many people as iShowSpeed or anyone else that does a weekly or daily live stream. Looks like you're messaging, but I don't. Yeah, there we go. We got a few people. But yeah, we wanted to talk about the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II is one of the topics for the day, which is a TV that I really like, but at the same time has not gotten as good of marks or reviews to date as the old A95L. Did you have that Sony A95L TV or no? Which TV did you end up with?
What did I got? I got the
Samsung?
I got the Samsung.
So you have a Samsung S90D, I believe, right? Really good QD-OLED.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to be honest, that one compares pretty favorably against the A95L, though the A95L is quite a little bit better.
That's the Master Series, right? That's the older,
it is a Master Series Sony. Older, yeah. Fantastic TV.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the new Bravia 8 Mark II is a pretty good TV. It's great. I love it. But at the same time, it's a QD-OLED 4th generation, all that, just like the Samsung S95F. But it has not gotten as bright of ratings and all that as the G5 OLED TV. And then we can also talk about operating system. We did a little case study about operating systems. We can talk about that as well. Which is your guys' favorite operating systems? And then some EV talk. I think all of us.
Wait, what'd you say?
ED talk. We're going to be talking about penile pumps and their benefits. We're going to be talking about EVs. We all have an EV, at least one, and we all have different preferences. So we'll talk about that. And speak of the devil, here's our friend Stop the FOMO to join in as well.
He comes in right at the ED joke. I love it.
Yeah, you missed the ED joke.
The ED joke.
We're going to talk about EVs, not EDs. So
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Yes. And then lastly, AI. We all have had a little experience with AI on YouTube for creation to communication. I've used AI to help work on some scripts just to kind of like get some fun ideas. It can be challenging and tedious to do YouTube day after day. But, I know you guys have also used that. And Chana, it looks like he's got some important stuff. There you go, man. So first, FOMO, can I ask your thoughts on the Bravia 8 Mark II? I know that you've seen the TV and you've also seen the G5, right, from LG. And a lot of the people that would be watching this are going to be guys in the TV world. What are your thoughts on the Bravia 8 so far?
So I think, well, first of all, some context is ratings complained that it's a little bit dim, as well as other reviewers, right? And I think part of the issue is if you leave it in filmmaker mode, its SDR isn't as bright. If you go into standard mode, the color's still accurate, but it gets much brighter. So for me, if you need it to be close to accurate, but you need that bright SDR, you have to go into standard or vivid mode. Keeping it in film or professional mode, right? Sony doesn't have vivid. I mean, Sony doesn't have filmmaker. It's called professional. Professional mode is definitely not SDR bright for sports or for whatever you need to watch. So if you need to elevate the brightness, you have to go into standard or vivid mode, and it's still fairly accurate for a Sony, but it's a step brighter than the S90F, because a lot of people are saying, well, it looks like the Sony Bravia is the same brightness as S90F. It is brighter as long as you go into standard or vivid. And then when you go apples to apples, dynamic mode on the S90F versus vivid, or standard on the S90F versus standard on the Sony is brighter. But if you go filmmaker mode versus professional mode, the filmmaker mode on the S90F can get brighter in SCR than the Sony. So yeah, that's kind of like, I
That's
mean, I'm going to do
interesting.
some more testing as soon as I get the G5 this week sometime. So we'll see how well that works.
It's interesting to me that that Sony, which is, we love Sony TVs. I mean, there's a lot of great benefits to them. Very interesting to me that they released a TV that's like literally, you know, a 1/4% dimmer than a G5. I mean, I don't even think this is as bright as the G4 was, is it? You know, I don't. You know, I think it's fairly
The
similar to
S90,
the G4.
which
The
one?
the new Bravia 8 Mark II is, I don't think, even as bright as the G4.
No. Well, so the G4 white is super bright. That's the
Mhm.
thing is, so if you're comparing white to white, it's just so bright. But when you do color, the Bravia 8 is brighter if it's just pure
Gotcha. And
color.
I
And
thought
so
the
when you
Bravia
start
8,
having color stuff, yeah.
yeah, the Bravia 8 Mark II looks great to me. I think it looks very similar to the A95L. I like it. I have the 77-inch version of it, and I enjoy that. So, anyways, Chana, we
Yo,
talked about your TV. FOMO, currently, what is your favorite TV that you have?
You'll laugh. It's the QM8K.
Oh, well,
I
you know
really
what? I
like
don't
that
have that yet.
QM8K.
I'm going to be getting that. So I'm going to be getting the QM8K and the QM6 Pro, the
QM6
Costco
Pro.
version.
What's the difference between the Pro and the regular?
I don't know. The
I don't
it's
know.
the QM6K, I believe. It should just be the one that Costco is selling, I would imagine. But I've been
But I'll tell
interested in.
you,
Go ahead.
the reason I like it though, because it's 85-inch. I mean, it's amazing. It looks great, but it's 85-inch, and that I
Your
think
QM8?
really, yeah, the
Yeah.
QMA-K I have is 85 inches, so
Damn.
that
That's
really
big.
elevates the experience. If it was 65-inch, then it'd be very close between that and the Bravia 9. But at 85 inches, I'm like, wow, it's good and boom, right? So yeah, that's why I like it.
I'm getting some experience with the QM6K 55
K,
inch.
it's a good
Uh,
one.
yeah, I saw the technology in the backlight. Like if you see my video from CES showing their like backlight demonstration, oh, pretty awesome. So I'm like, on the weekends I'm seeing it. It's at a friend's house, so it's pretty cool. There are still a little for me, still a little blooming around certain things, but I'm very sensitive to that, and I realize it's still an LED. It's not like my OLED, but right here I think I have the Sony 8 something K, HIJKL or L K or whatever.
A95K.
Yeah.
A90L.
No. It's
Okay.
with the 8, the 8 one.
8.
Yeah, not the
The
Bravia 8.
8,
This
the
is a
8,
few
8,
years.
8 series. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an 8
Yeah.
series, either the L or the K. I forget which one. Because it was here
It
when I
gets
got here.
confusing. The
Yeah,
fun
no,
of
it
year
definitely
after
does.
year TVs.
I
So
know.
Chana, I'll say you will love this current generation of mini LED from TCL.
Yeah.
Specifically, once you get the QM8K, you'll be like, whoa, this is so close to OLED. I mean, obviously, you put in the toughest content, you might see a little blooming, but this is as close that I've seen. Have you seen the Bravia 9 yet, Chana?
No.
Sony Bravia 9?
No,
Okay,
I haven't seen
then
it.
this one is like I don't want to call it a poor man's Bravia 9 because it's only $200 cheaper. So
Wow.
it's like a Bravia 9. I mean, and I told people when TCL competes, it's not going to be cheaper because it takes money to do what Sony does, and it ends up being only a few $100s cheaper than Sony right now. Obviously it'll get even cheaper come Black Friday, but there's no free lunch. It takes
Yeah.
technology and expense to get it to that level of
Mhm.
performance.
And oh, so go ahead.
What's interesting is that I'm really loving the Samsung S90D. Now that I use the trick to just have it go straight to an HDMI input and just totally bypass the operating system, which I know we're going to talk about later, but like, whoo, it's been pretty awesome. Like, honestly, I don't use it a whole lot, but when I have clients in there or we're having our AI meetings, which we'll talk about later too, and there's other people there, just have it on that big ass screen. The 77-inch is just like, it's awesome. And you know,
Well,
and it's a computer. I use it as a monitor mostly.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
speaking of large screens and operating systems, I was going to say I have the 115-inch. Can you guys hear me okay?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
My mic keeps cutting out. I don't know why. 115-inch QM7K. And I am guessing that my 115-inch QM7K might have a little bit more bells and whistles than the typical sizes that they have, because it looks very sharp. It looks incredible, to be honest, FOMO. It does remind me of the Bravia 9. It is so bright, and obviously it's a really expensive big TV, but probably the first TV that I've considered replacing like the projectors in the living room, because it's like, 132-inch projector or 115-inch TV that's 3-4 times as bright. It's pretty wild.
But
And
the thing that you have to consider is getting the TV inside the house.
oh, it's nuts,
right?
Or taking it out of the house, right?
Or the box, taking it out of the box.
I can't even find a
right?
TV mount that can mount it. I had to ask the people at TCL, and they're like, "Oh, there's this one Sanus mount." I'm like, "Dude, almost $300." So I'm gonna mount it, but I'm gonna use 2 mounts, I think, and put one on each side, and then kind of bracket it. And I think a video would be helpful, because I'm sure a lot of people that are considering gigantic TVs would need an install video. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
well, you would need 4 friends too. It's not light. What is that? Like 250 pounds?
dude, it's yeah. I think it's about 250 pounds.
Not me this time.
Yeah.
It has those phallic handles on the side you can use that are.
Did you say phallic handles?
Yeah. I mean, literally, like,
they look like bananas.
On the picture, it looks like, the guy's lifting it with his, his junk. But yeah, it's a pretty big TV, and it has the Google operating system. That's what I was going to say, because we did a case study recently comparing some of the operating systems, and FOMO and I were there, and then Chana met us there, which is pretty cool. We all hung out, but we got to check out the different operating systems. And FOMO, I was surprised that a lot of people really liked the Google. I mean, I wasn't surprised that Google TV operating system scored so highly, but it was good to see it in action, because not that operating systems are so important for everyone, because you can typically connect some sort of device to it, or you just might want Netflix, and a couple of the apps may work just fine enough. But I was pretty surprised at how different some of the operating systems were with how good they are. You know what I mean?
Yep, agreed. Well, and it's that first sight, how easy to organize your thoughts about navigating through the content. Because I know that most people, when they turn the TV, they just want to go straight to watching something.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
And Google kind of lets you go there immediately, like, oh, okay, look, TV. Whereas the other ones, wait, where's live TV? Where is this? Where is that? And it's definitely an art to get people to focus to where you want them to go, which is immediate free TV, no sign in, no code, nothing. You click on it, you're on the internet, and you have like 100 channels to watch. That's the secret, I think.
Yeah, and it was interesting, because the ones that seem more universal, whether it be Roku or Google or even Amazon, the ones that can be used on different devices seem to be like a little bit more useful and just easier to navigate. And then the ones that were like platform specific, like whether it be WebOS for LG or Tizen for Samsung, seemed like they were much more disorganized and harder to use. So like, it kind of think, is it beneficial just to use maybe more mainstream platform like Google TV, like Hisense, TCL, and Sony all use, as opposed to trying to make your own and make it better all the time? Because it really showed up when it came to like health and features and just all kinds of stuff. What were you gonna say, Chana?
What about has everybody moved away from the Roku operating system?
No, Roku was still there, and I think FOMO, you said that might have been your favorite, just probably to recommend or to use yourself. Because
so to me, Roku is kind of like Apple TV in that it's very clearly laid out. There's no confusion. It's just not fancy, but you come on right away. This is giant live TV, Netflix. I mean, you only have so many options, and so for people who aren't ADHD, where they need a bunch of stuff moving, there's no animation. It is like old school. You turn it on, and you only have 5 blocks to choose from. This, or this. Oh, Netflix, YouTube, live TV, or settings,
or input,
or input, right?
Yeah.
And that level of easiness is exactly why I recommend it to anyone who doesn't want to deal with settings. Now, For those who are technically a bit more sophisticated, oh, I want all this fancy stuff. I get it. But Roku is just so easy to navigate. There's just no way
Yeah.
around it. It's
It
just
was,
not fancy.
yeah, and it's the one that I would recommend for people that aren't tech savvy. If I was just
Mhm.
like, especially if people had Spectrum TV app, it was just like the one that I could just plop the Spectrum app at the top on all their TVs and they would just click it. It would just be so easy for them, you know. And Amazon is also equally, or to a degree, it can be as easy. But yeah, and someone just commented that Apple TV is the best interface. Definitely, I have Apple TV right behind me there. I definitely think it's consistent and clean. Some of the, I guess, negative comments about that was just that, you know, to pick up where you left off, Ricky, like it's harder to get into some of the things. Like it doesn't have a lot of interaction on the screen. Like, hey, here is,
What do you mean?
what you
What
were
is
watching there.
what interaction do you want, Brandon? They're just
Like,
supposed to like
well,
shake your hand or something? What?
no,
Hello,
we want
Brandon.
AI.
Hello.
No, like Google TV shows all the things you were watching. So if you were on one
Oh,
Google TV on your phone, for example, you can pop
Right.
on here and immediately the program you were just watching is right there and you can resume. And so
okay.
it doesn't really tell you what to watch. And that's not necessarily a downside of it. It's clean. Apple
What
TV is
about
clean.
what about this? What about this? Because I know we talked about it before because the old TVs were like this. What about when you hit the like home button, it doesn't cover what you're watching? Like what you're like
Yeah,
you want to like surf for something else,
I
but
did
now you
like
can't.
that. I did like that on the old Samsung Tizen software where you could pop up the bottom and you could see
Yeah,
all the
LG
things you
had that
could do at
too.
the bottom
Yeah.
without going over your screen. I think they got rid of that for the home screen because they just want to like sell space on their home screen or they want to have those
They're trying
three
to make more money,
TVs
those
channels.
bastards.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know, just give people more interaction or more, I guess, connectivity. But yeah, it was just interesting to me because I had always thought that I gravitated toward Google TV and I do like the Apple TV system too. But then, you know, some of the other ones need some work, you know.
Well, the Apple TV to me, if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, there's nothing special about it. But
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
consistent with the Apple approach, so you're comfortable. But if I walked in as a Samsung guy, let's say, never using an iPhone, I'm like, what's so special about this? Looks just like Roku. I
Mhm.
mean, it is as basic. It's just tiles, and each
Yeah.
tile says something. I think, Roku is much better organized than a bunch of tiles randomly thrown out there
Well, I think
because it's literally a bunch of tiles with no rhyme or reason why they're there other than YouTube, Netflix, and they're easy to read. That's it.
but it can also be the same FOMO. Like because I haven't really like organized my Roku Ultra. And so it's
Mhm.
just a hodgepodge. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
I gotta put Netflix up here, like what I watch most. So in that
hmm
sense, Apple TV is the same. I actually just bought two and then returned one because what do you call it? Because supposedly there's a new one coming out this year.
Ah,
So and then I released my first original track in Dolby Atmos, and it was only available on Apple Music. And so I'm like, oh, I guess this is a good opportunity, reason for me to buy an Apple TV, so I can listen to it. Uh, Oddly enough, my music distributor messed up, and now it's only delivering the stereo file, which is annoying. So I got to figure out what to do there and re-release the track again. But that's the reason why I bought the Apple TV. And I stayed away from it for quite some time because some of the apps are hard to like navigate inside of the Apple TV. Like there was a time
Yep.
when the Voodoo app, which is now what Fandango at home or something,
Fandango at home, yeah.
and just getting to the highlight and to the search area, it would get
Mhm.
stuck,
Yeah.
and then you're screwed. And then I'm like, I'd have to go to the other or go onto the Xbox, go see which movie I wanted, hit start, and then go back to the Apple TV
And then just resume.
and then resume it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like
Yeah,
like
That's just
what-
ridiculous.
Well,
Oh.
yes.
for us, that seems easy enough, but for most people, that's torture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They just feel like,
Yeah.
what is going on? Why can't I do anything? And one thing about like, okay, I love computer because I can just close the app. And like what's the app close button? So it just like you just like reset the app and it kickstarts and so it starts
Oh
working
my
properly.
gosh.
I
You have
wish
to
it
like
was-
Yeah.
restart the whole device basically on
Yeah,
most of
yeah,
them, you know?
exactly. That's
I mean, there
another
are ways to get into it, but it's
Well,
really it
on
takes more
Google
time.
TV, you could do it, right?
You can.
But yeah,
Oh.
but on Apple, I don't know.
So is this part of the wish list for
Apple?
for what are these things? Streaming box platform.
Operating systems,
wish
yeah.
list, operating system wish list. How do we
you know what?
quickly
So
reset the specific app so that it doesn't, you're not caught in this cycle of frustration? Play the
I
movie.
Good luck.
I think the streaming boxes are on their way out.
Think
If you
so,
look at
huh?
the numbers, TVs plugging it in and then just
Mm,
watching that's like 80%.
that's the thing, right?
And then 20% will go through the trouble of Apple TV, Streambox, Android, all that stuff, right? Side loading apps. I get it. But most people, the one that drives sales, they just want to use the TV as it's intended and they use internal apps. They're not going to plug stuff in. They don't care that the external apps might have slightly better image quality. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care. They just want the convenience of just plug and play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all down for that. The Google TV is easy for me. I like it. Resuming a lot of my Google services. I imagine for Apple TV, people are enjoying that as well, and probably the two best. But there's some positives in all of them. You know what? I saw, to change the subject, I saw you guys both have some AI stuff going on YouTube. Chana, do you want to give me like a quick lowdown of what you're doing with AI on YouTube? Because I thought it was really interesting. And, if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments about how we're using AI. But go ahead, Chana.
Okay. I mean, besides the basic, hey, I need help writing copy for a YouTube description or a Instagram post. We got a whole new AI channel. It's called Neon Muse AI. And we're making AI generated or AI animated, I like to call it AI animated music videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a project it's like me, my brother, and like one of my friends from high school. So we all do like different things, right? I'm the main bulk of the editing. My buddy from high school, Cameron, he's like, his dad was an Imagineer at Disney years ago.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
So he's an artist. So he can draw whatever we want, and then we can put that into AI because we want to create something, and copyright is a big deal. So if it's all AI generated, you can't copyright it. So we're creating a character, he's drawing it, and then we're bringing it into AI, and then he's got the story. And so, we can copyright the images, we can copyright the story. If I use Suno, which I have, to create a song, I'd have to redo the entire instrumentation, change some lyrics, have a woman or a man, whoever, sing the song, and then we can copyright that. And so it's been an interesting thing. And we got like 150 subscribers on the channel, and we're just pumping out all kinds of funny stuff. Brandon, are you on the channel? You gotta go there. Check it out.
I am. I subscribe to it. Now, for me, I like. I thought that you did a little video where you had babies dressed up and talking like the show. Was it Parks and Rec or Community? Which one was it? Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
See, I would be interested. I'm personally more interested in like funny stuff like that than like, and of course your music, but I don't know the girls kind of doing this.
Yeah, it's a bunch of hot
so
AI
yeah,
girls.
Once you
around,
pick which one you end up going, it's like you're gonna drive excitement and stuff. I think it's cool, but I laugh my ass off on that one because that Kim Kardashian joke from or is it Parks and Rec?
Yeah, Parks and Rec. Yeah,
that's a funny one.
That outtake with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. So that was funny.
The second baby one we did was redoing of the what is it called? The scene from A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. Oh, it's hilarious,
dude. That. That's so funny. Well, check out that channel.
Yeah,
you're glitching. You might be glitching a little bit, Shauna. I'm not sure if your internet's. But FOMO, let me. You pull this up. Should I pull up your little?
Yeah. Put up the poll.
Here. Yep. So here, explain what you're doing over here because I was looking at this too.
I experimented with AI on my last video, right? Just to see what the community's response would be, and then just to use it in different ways. So there are different types of roles that the AI would be. So one is the icebreaker at the beginning of my video. If you watch the video, I'll put the link up there. You start off with a topic that's kind of funny, right? So the AI I used was these two girls, Samsung for the win. They throw the TV out the window. Then you got the homeless Asian guys. Oh, gee, man, what's happening? Oh, what does FOMO think, right? And then the next type is they're actually introducing the headline, right? So you have news reporters. Oh, Samsung has overtaken LG, but it looks like they're reporters. And
Mhm.
then the reenactment be a world where I say, hey, people are throwing their TVs out the window. So I have AI throwing a TV out the window.
That's
Or, hey,
awesome.
Best
That's
Buy is
funny.
hiding TVs in the back. So you got Best Buy employees. And I can't believe AI actually put a Best Buy logo behind them.
That's
And
so
they're
funny.
hiding the TV, right? And
Yeah.
then you have gratuitous hot girls, which apparently
No,
got 28%.
no.
So,
Typically, I think that's going to
but
get 28% of men, no matter what is it, what it's
right, no
related
matter
to.
what. But what I noticed, and this is something that is important, is the comment section was mostly they don't like the AI. I mean, if you were to live with the AI, this is kind of like what they preferred, like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, the humor, like that. So what my conclusion is, if your channel was not natively AI to begin with, the people who are used to your channel, if they can tell it's AI beyond just B-roll, they don't like it. They prefer just me talking and throwing a couple of images, they're
Mhm.
good to go. So
Yeah.
if I do AI, it has to be on another channel where it's natively AI from the get-go.
Right.
So people jump in knowing, oh, this is all
Yeah.
AI.
That's
And
that's that's
like
why we did it. We did it that
yeah,
way too. Yeah. I
like
did.
my
People,
channel. Yeah, I
people are
reenacting Troy. Yeah.
creatures of comfort, like people get used to something. And so your audience may be like that. But the question is, if you were to continue on your current channel with, 200,000 people or whatever, and you started adding that in over time, would it grow faster, smaller? Would people,
Well,
and
I'll
so,
I'll tell you this. I did Hey Gen on a video, and they do like a 2 minute, and they're supposed to be like, you're supposed to just be like this and you talk, no hand movements or anything. But I had this one video where I was freshly shaven, fresh haircut. I looked all good, black shirt, and so I'm like this in the video, and so like that comes through with the AI, and then like if you do text to speech, it doesn't sound like me. So I ended up having to just record the voiceover, and then it'll match it to the mouth and the avatar a lot better. But it was still like a loop of me doing like counting, and then like doing this and like doing that. So like I had to cover that up a little bit with B-roll. And then at the end of the day, even Joe was like, man, you just put so much B-roll, you might as well just done a whole B-roll thing. I'm like, yeah, I guess so, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
so it still has a long way to go, and people can tell. Like, I tried to do it to where like just before you can tell it's AI, it's innocent B-roll. So
Yeah. Well, you want to
some people,
see good AI, Hollywood level AI. I just saw The Karate Kid over the weekend, right? The new one with Jackie Chan. And the entire intro, maybe the first 5 minutes, was all AI
wow,
because it was the young Mr. Miyagi with the
oh
young Ralph Macchio, right? When he
yeah,
was, what, 16 at the time.
Oh,
And they're
wow.
interacting, talking about, Kung Fu and how he's going to China, which obviously was not in the original. Much better than Rogue One when they did that weird CGI young Princess Leia.
mm,
Oh,
This
yeah.
this one was legit good. I was like, man, they are getting better. And I feel this is kind of like the first generation of AI using real actors, just literally recreating an entire scene where these characters do not exist because
yeah.
it's a young
Very cool.
Ralph Macchio's voice, so
Well,
he's not the
that's
real guy,
yeah.
and he just looks so convincing.
Well, and I think that's the coolest part. So we're actually do you guys know what School is? SKOOL?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, because I've been, the website that we're creating, I found the guy from that school.
Okay, so there's like a bunch of different school communities, and so we're in
Hmm.
this one that's based on AI. The guy, he's got like 40 some thousand subscribers, and so he was like giving out all this good stuff. So I'm like, okay, let me just get into this monthly thing. And so he has a new thing where it's like it's a music video contest, and the winner gets a free lifetime, deal to his school community. So one of the things is making a consistent character, and so I've been practicing with all the different AI platforms and creating a consistent character. And you literally need like 12 or 15 minimum 20 shots of that person from different angles, from near, far, all that stuff. So if you think
Hmm.
about Hollywood recreating something from the 80s, they have all of the stills. They have
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of the images to
They
to
have sound,
create.
video, like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have all of that recorded, right? So they have the ability to create Ralph Macchio and Mr. Miyagi from
Yes.
back in the
All
day.
angles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah, because they
unlimited
have all of
budgets.
that. Yeah,
You know, you want to hear a
and an
funny story?
unlimited budget. Yeah.
Here's a funny story about AI, generative AI, right? So the tool I use is Google's Gemini VO3, which adds audio, right? And so they're trying to make it easy. You describe the scene. So
Hmm.
the one where I had the guy threw a TV out the window, it took like 6 different scenes to get it right. But one of them I typed in because I wanted maybe a little girl to hold up a 75-inch TV and throw it out the window. So, little girl, head pokes out the window, lifts TV, throws it out the window, yells, bye bye. That's the scene. So they did it, and this is what happened. She lifts the TV, throws it out the window, bye bye, and then she jumps out the window screaming. Like, what the hell? Where did that? I did not tell you to have her jump out the
Yeah,
window, but that was the
yeah.
next thing. It goes, okay, that's it. I cannot use this one. I mean, as much as it would be a great outtake, dude, YouTube would cancel me so fast when they
That's so
saw
funny.
that. It's just like this little 12-year-old, just
It's,
jumped out the window screaming after the TV. It was
I
horrible.
think that's the funny part is when you start. So for those of you that don't know, like what you normally do is you do like text to image, and you can use a bunch of different tools. You can use Midjourney, you can use Korea, you can use Flux, you can use a whole bunch of different platforms, and then you get into image to video, and you can tell it, hey, I want it to do ABC XYZ, and then all of a sudden it just goes rogue and does something totally like you're like, I didn't write that at all. So it's still like in a very we're still at the very beginning of it actually working properly, because I've
Yes.
seen Google's VO3 does text to video, which was what FOMO was talking about. So now it's like picking out that one step of the image. And so it's a big step in the right direction, and it adds audio and lip sync
Yes.
all in
Yes.
one thing, which is amazing.
Yes.
There are still like we were thinking about getting it, but we figured that having a consistent character is still very hard to do, and having it
Yes.
like ride on a motorcycle in a cyberpunk city while it's raining, like this is what we're doing
That's
in our
wild,
music
dude.
videos. Like we
Yeah.
can't have it do that. So the different levels of AI is weird, and a lot of people would say AI. They're like, oh, AI is gonna. Oh, did you make that with AI? And I'm showing like my friends and family. I'm like, yeah, which AI did you use? I'm like 10 of them. And it's like this is not a simple thing as just like writing a prompt and it pops out. It's like
Right.
there's all these different steps in all these different platforms, and we got to go back to ChatGPT. Hey, I like this image. I need to recreate it, but I need it with with this and this and this, and then it'll give like 4 options, and be like, I don't like any of those. Let's change the angle. Boom. There's another 4 options. Ooh, this one looks cool. Now, how do I get my character into there? Like it's a
That's
back
wild.
and forth. Yeah.
What I did as an experiment, I took Brian Tech Therapy, took one of his video, put his face. So Vimeo has, if you put a couple of frames together, they will try to stitch it, right? I said, you know what? Let's see if they can do Brian with just one picture, and it came shockingly close. I didn't show it with Brian yet because you know what? Not close enough. I'm gonna add more photos of him to have him start talking, right? But I told Brian because someone reached out to Brian. I know you guys all had the same or a similar situation where they reach out to your email. Hey, send me all of your videos. We'll pay you $10,000, and we're gonna use AI to study your videos or however much terabytes you have, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was telling Brian, that you give it to them, there's going to be a Brian YouTube channel within 48 hours because they have everything they need to create another Brian or whoever, right? Chana, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he's all like, you know what? It's going to happen anyway. So because I know a couple people got paid 10 to 12 grand to share their entire video YouTube collection, like terabytes, got the check. And I said, that's it. Your face is going to be on YouTube because you saw the faces that were on my video. It came from somewhere. It looks suspiciously like real people, but these real people were all studied by AI on the internet.
So is it, eventually is this just going to happen anyways though? Like, are they just going to have access to public info? Like our videos are public to a degree, so it's interesting.
Our terms of service with YouTube is changing constantly.
Yeah.
We don't own our video. If we put it on the platform, YouTube owns it, and Gemini is studying everything. So they already
I
have it.
I wanted to mention a picture that I had transitioned to. Like I want to show you, not me personally transitioning, but my my TV, my car. So I'm gonna get to that in a second. Real quick, I wanted to say hey to the people in the chat that are saying hi to us.
What up, everybody?
How's everyone doing? Bravia 9, great TV. I think it's great for sports. I think LED TVs are great for sports because they have, pretty smooth motion, whatnot. Sony's as well. Rainer, how you doing, man? Great to hear from you. I had a picture of a car I bought. So I took a picture up in my up in the cul-de-sac, and there was a bunch of gravel in the front right, like is a bump where they like tore it up with a garbage truck and they fixed it and it looks like crap. But the picture was cool except for that. And I'm like, hey, I tried to use Chat GPT like you are saying, and I just said, hey, remove the road issues in the front right corner, smooth out the road. Dude, it came back, it detailed my car, it changed the rims, it like the tires had it looked like they had like dualies in the back of my car.
It's stanced. It's stanced.
No, for real. The car looked amazing. If it looked like that, I'd be like, that's it.
It's like a different car.
It took out some of there were leaves inside the front grille. It took them out. It like removed everything. I was like, wow. So that's kind of my transition there to the last thing we're going to talk about, which is EVs. Because this channel that I have here is more generalized tech. I've done some like Tesla video on our Model Y. We got done a full self-drive video. And now I'm interested in kind of talking about the general, I guess the horizon for EVs, because I have a Tesla, we got another one. And now I'm kind of like contemplating, whether or not Tesla is a good fit for a lot of people that like EVs and kind of the roadmap going forward, because it's got great tech, but at the same time,
you were saying you were back and forth. Do I buy another Tesla? Do I support, what's going on? And I was like, buy a Lucid, man.
Yeah,
stop messing around. Buy a Lucid, because I got a Lucid in the garage here.
It's a fantastic. You took me on a couple of rides out in Vegas when we were there, and it is like a sweet car, dude. To be honest,
it's
I love it. The only thing is it doesn't have the full self-drive. Not that I need full self-drive on every ride, but it's kind of like the technology in Teslas is amazing, and the infrastructure and charging ability for trips are both things that are great. So what do you think about that with regards to your choice of Lucid? I mean, could you buy a Tesla first off at all, Chana? And then secondly, what do you think about using your car on a road trip?
You guys know I'm not going to pull any punches, dude. I think Tesla's are fucking garbage as far as like the interior. Interior sucks, right? Like I have been I've been buying Audis for 20 years, right? Bought my first one in 2002, bought the last one in 2022. And there's just something about the fit and finish and the luxury. And I wasn't going to change. I was going to change. My mom was like, oh, we should check out like a Lucid. I'm like, okay, whatever. Oddly enough, across the street from my office in Pasadena, they open up a Lucid showroom. I walk in there and I sit down. I'm like, this is nice. Just the luxury aspect of it. And the one thing I really liked about it, because I've been in a few Teslas, is that there's no menu diving to get to basic controls like the air conditioner, the heater, the like everything. There's a physical button for everything that there would be a physical button for. Right, except the radio. Well, no, you have volume slot rockers and stuff like that, but those are the things I really liked about it. It's like a luxury car, like that. That's what they're aiming it as. It's a luxury electric vehicle, and I like that aspect about it. And I literally was in a brand new Model X, like I think 2 or 3 weeks before my mom picked up the Lucid. Right, and it's just a lease, 18-month lease. To try it out. We don't have a charger here. So when you're talking about like infrastructure for charging, I lucked out. There's a charger in the parking garage where I park at my office. Right. So I can just plug it in for like 3 hours. And it's a trickle charger. There's nothing crazy, but there is a fast one. Like that trickle charge, dude, it'd be like 80 miles. I get in like 3 hours. It would cost $6. Right? Or I go to the other parking garage, it'll charge the entire car in an hour, but you're paying $40. Right? And then the range is longer, 380 miles, as opposed to whatever else. So I like that one. The SUV looks cool. They have the Dolby Atmos. I like that. You know, that's a huge
And
thing for me.
This is Lucid or this is Audi? You said Lucid.
This is Lucid. This is Lucid.
Okay,
I don't know if the Audi does. I mean, I have my Audi's like close on to like 90,000 miles or something like that, and like, you know, I'm the only owner, and like I went into go get it like oil change. They're like, oh, there's like $13,000 of like service that needs to go on. And
Oh
like,
yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like,
Well,
get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
That's something you don't have to worry about with EVs. No oil changes. But
well, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Audi has EVs, right? They have a couple models.
Oh, they have tons.
Oh, okay.
But they're terrible. I have to get that out there.
Well,
They're
listen,
terrible. Do
I don't want to
not.
bag on all of them. I do know that I saw an AMG Mercedes recently, and their interior was falling apart on like a car that had less than 40,000 miles. So it's like all these different brands do have some issues. I will agree that the Tesla interiors are pretty basic. Are like looking now that I have an S. I bought an S used. I don't know. FOMO. I don't even know if I told you that.
No, I didn't know. This is the first I heard of it. How do you like it?
I got a 2024 S Plaid. I love it. I got it like $40,000 off the retail. Chana actually went up and saw another one for me in LA.
Yeah,
Then
that was a cool interior, that white one.
Yeah, this one's black interior, so I don't have to worry about spilling anything in it. I'm okay with it. Sure. And I actually love the car. It is ridiculously fast. And I think the interior is improved upon over the Y that we had. My wife has the Y Juniper, so it is really improved upon the older car. Again, it's more basic interior, but it's just a really well-rounded EV for the price too. It's really less. It's a lot less expensive than they used to be just a few years ago. So for us that travel like over 1,000 miles, you know, a month, like no, it's like each of us travel like 1,000 miles a month. So and we spend a lot on gas. So it's really worth it. I put 1,000 miles on that S already in a week, Chana.
Damn, that's a lot.
We were up to LA and back at the SoFi. We were up to Corona and back. I take the kids to school. Now it's the summer, but I don't do that right now. But we're going to put a lot of miles on it. So it's pretty cool for me, and it's, you know, extremely fast. But I did like your Lucid. The interior is beautiful. I wish it had self-drive. I know it's going to be coming with it eventually, but you do have to currently get like a hardware upgrade if you buy it off the lot, I think. Some of them have,
if you get the
like the
Dream Drive Pro, or something like that, then it's just what is it? It's just a firmware update or whatever.
But that comes with like LiDAR versus like the other ones don't, right? The lower models.
No, I mean the LiDAR is for the what is it? The adaptive cruise. So it's there on the lower one. It just depends. Like I'm totally cool with driving the thing myself. Like I looked at the like Rivian and stuff like that. Like Raj was saying, like, I don't know, man. It's a lease. And here's the shitty part. When the fucking fires happened, no dice, bro. What's happening with the electric? I still have to have a gas car because there was nothing. There's nothing here. Everybody is fucking evacuated. There's no fucking power. Then what are you going to do with your electric car? Fucking sit there.
Tell us how you really feel, man. Tell us how you really feel.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like I still have to have a gas car. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I have a truck. I mean, I honestly, I charge at night. I charge every night at my house. So
like, but then when there's a power outage for multiple days, and then
I have never had that.
And then you have to go somewhere.
Okay,
wait, we have to evacuate.
Shut up.
What the fuck
I haven't lost power for more than 4 hours in San Diego. So I mean, it is different in California for sure than other parts of the country. You know,
Shauna, if you're in a situation where you lose power for a couple of days, trust me when I say people out there with guns will hunt you down, take your food, and rob you.
Yeah, haven't you guys seen Mad Max?
It is a total loss of all human spirit.
Oh no,
after
dude,
the
I
fourth
live
day.
on the top of a hill. I have the perfect. Anybody coming up? I got a balcony right here. They're not stepping foot on my property, bro. I also have the Navy SEAL bugging guide, so I got countermeasures ready.
Raj does say that he likes Rivian better than Lucid. I don't know about that. I liked Rivian. I thought that its technology for like self-driving and all that was scary. It kind of it like couldn't even stay on the highway. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not. And also the Rivian R1S, it's like the opposite of my Tesla. Like my Tesla, I can't even see the hood when I'm driving. The Rivian, it's like all you can see is the hood in front of you. It's hard to see over it. But I know I like car more than an SUV. I'm interested in whichever company has the best SUV that can do the self-drive and all that. I think Rivian is probably up there with that. They're pretty nice. The R1S is a pretty nice SUV.
What I noticed like I've been in downtown LA quite a bit, and we've been Ubering around, and there's a company that is just the Kia EV9. Like every time I get in, I'm like, damn. I'm like, I guess they have a promotion. I'm like, this is cheaper than the regular one. I'm like, $9, sure. And I get in this thing, and I'm like, man, this is pretty nice, dude.
Yeah, EV9 was something I would be interested in. FOMO, what do you have for EVs? Like, what are you
I
driving, and how
have,
you what's your
yeah.
experience so far?
So our minivan is our gas car for those emergencies, apocalypse, but or when I have to drive a TV. But otherwise, my daily driver is a Volvo EX or C40. I have the C40 Volvo that we got a couple of years back, and the other car is the EV9, Kia EV9.
Oh, you do have an EV9. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, no, EV6. I was
EV6.
talking EV9 in my comment, EV6. So
Oh, okay.
the EV6 just went to my daughter. She's driving it around now. So we're looking for that EV to replace it. And Tesla's is the only one with self-driving where I feel comfortable enough to use it. But then, like you guys are saying, the interior is so low rate. I mean, it's barely Corolla as far as I'm concerned. When you pay that much, if you're paying 25 grand, you get that, whatever. But you're paying 55,000. And for me, I am so addicted to the Volvo interior and the whole thing. Volvo does such a great job.
Volvo's nice. Yeah.
I mean, I'm really looking at the EX90 as my next car. I mean, it doesn't have the best tech, so I'm waiting maybe for the next generation, which is the EX60 on its all-new platform. And yeah, I know it's owned by China, which is why it's probably a better car, ironically, right?
Well, I mean, they make some pretty awesome EVs.
Oh, dude, it's owned by Geely, so I know it's good.
Did you guys at CES on the last day, Friday? I went through the car thing, and man, I saw some Chinese cars that were just like, what? I'm like, this is how much? Like, get out of here.
But it's like a 200% tariff or 100% tariff.
Well, now,
I think it was even before that.
Even,
I mean,
like you weren't able to buy it. Period.
You can buy it here.
Right. I think there's some. One of the things I was wondering is if Tesla starts outsource or licensing the full self drive for other companies, that could be a game changer if they have the camera systems. Because the new version of it, you guys you haven't been in them a lot, but the new hardware for basically the last year and a half of Tesla's hardware and software is so much better than the previous one. I had a previous HW3, which is their older cameras. They're only 1.2 megapixel cameras. And now the new ones are 5 megapixel cameras, and it's a lot better. It's a lot smoother. I literally didn't touch the wheel all the way to LA and back. It's and I'm not even I was nervous when I used to have this and I started using full self-drive. I honestly, my heart rate doesn't even skip a beat. It can drive you to and from with no issues. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that wants the full self-drive all the time. Like you said, Shauna, I do like to drive, but there is something to when you're not paying attention as much and you need, it's probably better off to put it in self-drive.
when you picked me up and we went to that concert or whatever, you're like, yeah, the car will just drive us. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so we could just talk.
Yeah,
that was without worry.
It's your own personal driver,
But it was funny when you're like, all right, the car's gonna freak out now. It's got to change to the other highway. So it's like,
yeah, it can be a little sketchy. And that was a new one. That was a new one too. That was the 3 Performance. That's the new the 3 Performance. I think it's a great car, but for me, in the end, I was looking at a new 3 Performance or a used S, and I just ended up being that guy that's just needed I'm the junkie that's I need the plaid. I want the 0 to 60.
You want to go fast as possible.
And and I got it. And I have to say the air suspension is amazing. I got some new custom 19-inch wheels that I'm going to put on instead of the 21s because the 21-inch wheels.
What is it, like a 35 series tire?
Yeah, it's a 30 it's a 30 in the back, dude.
In the back?
So, yeah.
So it's rough.
And I got 255 45s, so they're going to be another inch thicker on the top and bottom. I mean, that's going to be. So
it's going to be night and
it gives you better range too.
Ride quality and range, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the range isn't a huge deal, but it's going to go from 312 to 350. But the ride quality is what I'm in for. This is a daily driver for me, and I got it at a pretty steep discount from the new price. Which I had a friend that said, if you don't want to support Tesla, you can still get it used because you're not buying a new one. I mean, if that makes sense, but to a degree,
I let you sleep at night. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. In the end, I think it comes down to kind of the technology you get. I do like the on-screen stuff. I prefer that, actually, kind of a clean interface. once you learn a computer, if you learn a computer, computers are pretty easy. So for me, it's like tap, 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 and I get it. When I walk into my wife's, it literally picks up the song that I was listening to in my other Tesla. So like it transitions my my
Spotify or
Amazon
whatever.
Music over,
Amazon.
and it's like it puts my seat right in the position that I am for when I
Mhm.
open the door. I can open all three of my Tesla. Well, we're getting rid of one of them, but I mean, I can press the button to open the door, close it, open the next one, close it, open the next one, close it without a key. I just have my phone in my pocket and I'm bouncing around from the three cars. So the ability to just kind of use the technology, I still think is superior, but I definitely am not it's hard for me to square the circle of supporting kind of the way that things are going
Well,
at the
I
same
have
time.
to agree with you that Tesla's technology is luxury level. It's
Yes.
just the textiles and everything. So
Yeah.
you can't have everything, right? So yeah,
No.
the Tesla is the highest software luxury you're going to get. Period. No one comes close.
Highest software luxury. I like that.
Software luxury, right? It's like you can see where all the money goes into is that software development. I mean, they have the largest supercomputer system that of any car company, bar none. No one comes close to the level of investment they put into their autonomous driving. We're talking billions of dollars just to the computer system to test this stuff. This is why everyone is so behind.
Mhm.
I still think Tesla would be, if there was full autonomous self-driving, Tesla would be the first to get there because of the amount of their computing power they have in the back.
Well, I mean, they're looking to launch these robo-taxis soon. I mean, they're prepping
Yeah.
the service centers for these full self-drive coming out. So, I mean, people have now been contemplating whether or not they're going to deliver cars to your home when you buy one. It's just going to like autonomously drive to your house and deliver it there. So, there's some interesting stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's
I don't even know if I'd like that idea.
I don't think so either. There's
I
just
would
no
like
way
to
I'm.
see the car before I buy it and sign
Yes,
for
that's
it,
the
please,
thing.
right?
You should
Like,
go and make sure it doesn't have any issues with it. And
Brandon's like, "Can you go check out this car and make sure there's like an engine?" I'm like,
yeah. I mean, the guy
sure.
was a good dude. He ended up selling it easier for him up there, which is fine. I understand that. I ended up getting mine for over $10,000 less than his was, so I was happy. It ended up working out for me.
Okay, cool.
So I got a really good deal on mine. So yeah,
I'm in this situation where like I don't know if we're actually going to continue to get another electric, but I like they were giving away these Lucids like last year in May. You got like $10,000 off, and that was the mid-range one with more horsepower and all that kind of stuff. Not the high end one, the Brandon one.
I'm waiting for the
But
entry level Gravity because I like that Gravity a lot.
The Gravity is
ride.
awesome. I went at CES. I randomly found the Lucid marketing lady who I met at when I met the CEO and talked to him at like an event in Pasadena. So she's like, "Hey, we have the Gravity. You can sit in it and like play around with all the controls and stuff." I'm like, "Can I drive it?" She's like, "No, not yet." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, baby steps." So I made a video about that. So if it's on my channel, if you type in Technodad CES Lucid, you'll probably find it. I like their $80,000 version of that. I think that would be a great one. I would probably again jump on any lease deals because they do an 18-month lease. That's a year and a half.
Great.
It's like I can try the car for a year and a half, and if I really want it, or I know some people in the chat were talking about, oh, they're not gonna last. I'm like, well, whatever. I get to return the car. If they last or they don't last, I get to return
that's why
the
you
car.
lease. That's why you lease.
EVs definitely don't have a ton of resale value. A lot of them really are depreciating off the lot. I mean, people, the Tesla S, for example, is definitely like you buy it, it's 110 fully loaded and tax and all that, and it ends up being 60 in a year or two, or less. I mean, they're dropping off. The cost to own a Tesla S is like $120,000 in 5 years. That's crazy.
That's
depreciation, tax,
get it used,
insurance, all those things. So I got mine used. It was one of the reasons I literally halved that initial price. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I feel like at any point, if I want to sell mine now, I'll be in a good spot, So you just got to make sure. I considered that Gravity, but yeah, when you start adding everything up, it ends up being pretty expensive.
Yeah, well, the current one, like the lower end one, so they always do the high end one first, so that they can make their money and then roll out the $80,000 version down the road. So like the $80,000 one doesn't come with the third row seat. You have to add that in if you really want it. I don't know. It all depends. But the best part is it has Dolby Atmos. And I have a product that's about Dolby Atmos. So you know what that means? It's a big tax write-off that weighs over 6,000 pounds. So if any of you are small business owners and you know about Section 179, boom. Lucid Gravity is the way to go.
Well, California is probably watching, China. Careful. I'm just kidding.
That's what. It's a legitimate business.
I know.
A car that has Dolby Atmos is a Dolby Atmos testing equipment for my
you
car.
should get. You
So
should
that's exactly what it is.
You should link in the description or go to China's website. You can get that. You want to explain quickly what that is?
This is the spatial audio calibration toolkit. If you have a Dolby Atmos home theater and you want to make sure your AVR or your soundbar is doing exactly what they advertised, get this, and you'll find out right away if it's good, if your system is good, or if it needs tweaking. Go to spatialcd.com and pick yours up today. There you go.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here quick because I'm gonna have to take off. I know you guys have other things to do today as well. But I appreciate you guys jumping on today for the initial podcast of Brandon Walsh, Tech Be the Consumer Guy that's doing other tech stuff too. You know,
That's such a long title.
that should be the name, right? No, I'm kidding.
Brandon Walsh does Tech Talk.
Tech Talk with the dudes on Monday because we're all bored. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I enjoyed having you guys on.
Tech Talk with unemployed dudes on Monday.
Honestly, it's back to work, man. That's why I titled
dude, you could call it a Monday board meeting.
Yeah.
There you go. The tech bros or whatever.
That's
I don't know.
the one thing about you guys. You guys are so creative. I love chatting with you guys because it's always like the next. Eric was like TVs and EVs. You said, board back to, what did you say just now?
Board Monday.
Yeah, we don't want to steal board at work because that's our buddy Edabong, but yeah, definitely some cool stuff.
Board on Monday.
Yeah. Anything else, guys, before we head off on the first day here?
Oh, it's good. I think it's a good kickoff to your new direction, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, this is, we're going to do a little behind the scenes. We're going to show some other tech besides TVs because you know how it is. When we got a channel, people want to see the one kind of thing that you do on YouTube, which is cool. And I love making videos about TVs and all that, especially the install videos. Yeah. But we do want to expand out a little bit and talk about some of this other stuff. And this is a great place to do it. So thank you guys for jumping on, and everyone have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, have a great week, everybody.
Right. We'll see you next Monday. Well, we'll see if these guys come back. Have a good one, guys.
Peace.